I'd let you guys meet two of my favorite cows. This is Selma Lou. Come here, Selma. You can see Selma is pretty full right now. She was milked at 6 a.m. She'll be ready to milk again at 6 p.m. Hey, Selma. She produces about 15 gallons of milk per day.
Hi everyone, my name is Tracy. I was a math teacher for 10 years, but I decided to take a year off to try my hand at dairy farming. I started getting interested in natural milk, which is just milk that's unprocessed, about 5 years ago. And so I kind of hung out with some people that were really into the raw milk phase, and I learned a little bit about it, and then I decided to take a year off of teaching and see if I could do it myself. So this is my refrigerator where I keep all of my milk. The milk has to be kept at 32 degrees. This is Selma's milk. Selma is one of my best producing cows. I do have inspectors come to my farm once a month to make sure the refrigerator's at the right temperature and that the milk has no problems with it. They test for salmonella and various other kinds of bacteria that are common in milk. Let me walk you over to my cleaning station. When I first started milking my cows, I used the old-fashioned ways, hand. It was very exhausting, and it took 2 hours to do my 4 cows. A little bit later, I switched to claws. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these, so I'll let you get in close. Each of these claws goes on the udder, and then I hook these tubes up to my vacuum system, which you can kind of see over here. The vacuum releases pressure, open, close, and instead of taking hours to milk my cows, I can do it all in about 30 minutes now. The actual milking process is pretty quick, but cleaning is very difficult. All of these vacuums have to be cleaned with bleach twice a day. All of the claws have to be cleaned with bleach and hot water every single day. So the cleaning process takes a long time, but the milking process is faster. That made me think, that sounds like a system of equations. I can milk by hand and it takes no prep time, but it takes 2 hours to milk the cows. Or I can milk the cows for 20 minutes, but take more time to prep the cows. So as a math teacher, I use math all the time in my dairy farm. Now let me take you guys into my milking area. So my cows come in through this door. They come in at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day. There's no day off for a farmer. Every single day the cows have to be milked twice a day. So that's a little more work than I thought it would be. So the cows come in, they're happy to come in because we feed them while we milk them. So they come in here, the very first thing I do is clean their udders with this iodine solution. I take this iodine and clean each udder off, and then I hook up the claw, and then the cows eat and I milk them. It takes about 20 minutes to milk each cow. Okay, the milks go directly into these steel bins. After they're full, I bring them over here and I strain the milk 2 times. The milk is filtered through a screen like this. It goes through twice. Every now and then you can find some little speckles, some thick pieces, and that's just normal with every cow. The difference between raw milk is it's not pasteurized at all. It's just fresh from the cow, strained through here, and that's it. There's no chemicals in it, there's no boiling, there's nothing added. In store milk, you have added calcium, you have a lot of things that are added to the milk process, but ours is just pure milk straight from the cow. Let me show you how it looks a little bit different. Okay, if you can look closely here, the milk separates. So whenever you have raw milk, you actually have to shake it. And you can tell that some of the cows actually produce a fatter milk, which is more of a whole milk. This is more of a skim milk. You can see when you shake it up, it tastes and looks like normal milk. But it's kind of nice for this because I've been making butter and cheese, and so you really want to have the milk fat separated. But that's one big difference between raw milk and whole milk. That goes off when the refrigerator's open too long.
Organic milk sells for a lot more, but in order to have organic milk, you have to use organic feed. So you have to really weigh the cost of the organic feed versus the regular feed to decide if it's worth it, and that's another system of equations that we can do. So for instance, this bag of food costs $6, whereas an organic bag of food costs $9. So I have to use a system of equations and decide how much more I can sell my organic milk for versus just regular milk. So a lot of people ask me, would I do it all over again? Would I quit teaching to try my hand at dairy farming? And I probably wouldn't. The whole process has taught me that I'm not really a morning person. I'm good at 8 a.m. when classes start, but I'm not so good at 5 o'clock in the morning when I have to clean udders and brave the elements. We've had a pretty cold winter and a really hot summer, so it's difficult to come outside when it's 100 degrees or when it's 10 degrees outside, but you really can have a lot of problems if you don't milk your cows on time, and so I learned that the hard way too. So probably I'm going to do it for 1 more year and then I'll return to the classroom after that. I might keep the farm and just hire people to run it, or I might just go back to the simple life of Netflix and grading papers and